Persistence is not just an action, it is a philosophy, a way of living, a decision to keep moving even when every part of your environment tells you to stop. When we say persistence is the price of success, we are saying that success is not purchased with money, talent, or luck. It is purchased with the currency of not quitting. Persistence means holding on to your vision even when your circumstances are shaking. It means refusing to surrender your future just because your present looks challenging. Most people think success is about knowing the right people or being born with special gifts, but the truth is far simpler. The people who win are the ones who stay in the game longer than anyone else. When you commit to persistence, you enter a realm where your effort begins to compound in ways you cannot see immediately. The early stages of any dream are often silent. You show up every day, but the results don't show up with you. You put in the hours, but the reward doesn't match the labor yet. This is where most people turn back because we are conditioned to expect quick results, quick applause, and quick recognition. But persistence demands patience. It demands that you plant seeds and continue watering them even when the soil looks dry. Every time you persist, you strengthen your internal resolve. Every time you continue despite discouragement, you add another layer to your character. And this character, built through repetition, pressure, and endurance, is what eventually produces the outward success people admire. Persistence is also a form of self-respect. When you refuse to quit on your dream, you are sending a message to your future that you believe you are worthy of the life you desire. Quitting easily sends the opposite message. The moment you stop fighting, you agree with the limitations that try to define you. Persistence challenges those limitations. It says, I will not be controlled by fear, by comfort zones, or by short-term emotions. And make no mistake, persistence is emotional warfare. You must fight battles within yourself. Every single day, the battle against doubt, against exhaustion, against impatience, against the temptation to settle for less. People often celebrate the finished product, but they never see the internal battles that produced it. Persistence is that invisible war. Success becomes predictable for the persistent because they eventually outlast all the obstacles. Obstacles are temporary, but persistence is permanent. When you make it part of your identity, problems have a deadline, your determination does not. Challenges are seasonal, your commitment must be constant. Many people start strong but finish weak because their discipline is conditional. They work hard only when they feel good, only when the environment is supportive, only when the results are obvious. But persistence demands that you keep going when the motivation disappears. You cannot build a powerful future on emotional inconsistency. Persistence requires a decision that is stronger than your feelings. Another truth about persistence is that it transforms you before it transforms your circumstances. While you are working toward the dream is also working on you. Persistence forces you to grow skills you didn't have before, develop patience you didn't know you needed, and build habits that shape you into the person capable of carrying the blessing. Sometimes success is delayed not because it is far away, but because you are being developed to handle it. If you receive success without the character required to sustain it, you will lose it. Persistence ensures that you grow into the strength needed for the success you are pursuing. Consider how life rewards those who refuse to give up. Every breakthrough happens because someone decided to keep moving forward when quitting felt easier. Every invention, every business, every great achievement in history is the result of someone's persistence. The world does not remember those who tried once and stopped. It remembers those who were unstoppable. People who persist become unstoppable not because they never face obstacles, but because obstacles cannot drain their determination. Persistence is not the absence of hardship. It is the decision to walk through hardship with your eyes fixed on the outcome. Even when you fail, persistence gives you power. Failure is not final unless you decide that it is. When you learn from failure and continue moving, the failure becomes a stepping stone. Persistence turns losses into lessons. It turns setbacks into upgrades. It turns delays into preparation. When you keep moving, nothing you face is wasted. Everything becomes fuel. But quitting makes everything you've done meaningless. If you give up, All the work, the sacrifice, the effort, you lose it all. Persistence protects your investment by ensuring that every step you take counts toward the finish line. Persistence also opens doors that talent alone cannot open. The world is full of talented people who never fulfill their potential because they quit when things became uncomfortable. Persistence gives you an unfair advantage because most people do not possess it. When you continue moving while others stop, you automatically rise above the competition. Consistency creates separation. While others look for shortcuts, you're building strength. While others search for excuses, you're building progress. Over time, this gap becomes impossible to ignore. Persistence turns ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. But the greatest effect of persistence is the internal transformation. When you know you can push through challenges, you gain a level of confidence that can never be taken away from you. You become a person who trusts yourself. You stop fearing obstacles because you know you can endure them. You stop fearing failure because you know you can rise again. This confidence becomes your engine, your protection, your advantage. Persistent people think differently, speak differently, act differently. They live with purpose, and that purpose fuels their endurance. So when we say success comes to those who never give up, it's not just a motivational statement, it's a law of life. Persistence aligns you with the results you desire. It shapes you into the person your dream requires. And once you commit to never quitting, success becomes inevitable because the only people who don't win are the ones who stop trying. Resistance is not your enemy. It is your announcement that you are getting close to something meaningful. Every great achievement is born through pressure. Every breakthrough is surrounded by barriers. And the moment you decide to pursue something greater than your current reality, life will test you, not to destroy you, but to prepare you. Breakthrough always comes after resistance because resistance builds the strength, wisdom, and maturity required to handle the level you are stepping into. Without resistance, you would celebrate too early. Without pressure, you would quit too easily. Resistance is the refining fire that shapes your potential into power. When you face resistance, the first thing you must understand is that the struggle is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're advancing. You can't experience resistance standing still. You only experience resistance when you move forward. Just like an airplane faces the greatest force of wind right before it lifts off the ground, you face the greatest intensity of resistance right before your breakthrough. Many people misunderstand this moment. They feel the struggle, the pressure, the stress, and they assume something is wrong. In reality, something is right. The resistance is proof that you're pushing against the limits of your old life. And every time you push, those limits begin to crack. But most people give up at the point where the pressure becomes uncomfortable, not realizing the breakthrough was one push away. Resistance also reveals your commitment. When everything goes smoothly, it's easy to be excited. It's easy to stay motivated when nothing is fighting against you. But motivation is not what creates success. Commitment is. And commitment only becomes visible when the journey gets difficult. Anyone can start, only the committed can finish. Resistance exposes the difference. When obstacles appear, the quitter looks for an exit, but the committed look for a way through. The question is not whether you will face resistance. The question is how you will respond when resistance shows up. Will you shrink or will you rise? Will you retreat or will you advance? Breakthrough belongs to those who decide to rise. You must also understand that resistance strengthens your capacity. You cannot handle success on the level you desire while holding the strength of who you used to be. Bigger dreams require bigger endurance. Bigger opportunities require bigger discipline. Bigger doors require a stronger version of you to walk through them. Resistance develops that version of you. The more you push through, the more your capacity increases. When you lift weights, the muscle grows not because it is comfortable, but because it is challenged. Your character, your mentality, your perseverance, they grow the same way. If life never resisted you, you would never grow into the person capable of carrying the vision you have in your heart. Resistance also teaches you precision. When things are hard, you stop wasting energy on distractions. You stop wasting time on people who don't support your direction. You stop investing in activities that don't contribute to your purpose. Resistance sharpens your focus because survival requires concentration. When the pressure hits, you begin to realize what truly matters and what doesn't. And this clarity becomes one of the greatest tools for your breakthrough. Clarity turns confusion into direction. Direction turns effort into momentum. Momentum turns small steps into powerful results. Without resistance, you would never develop the clarity that breakthrough requires. Another powerful truth about resistance is that it exposes weaknesses, not to embarrass you, but to strengthen you. When you encounter challenges, they reveal areas of growth you didn't know you needed. Maybe it exposes a lack of discipline, a lack of systems, a lack of skills, or hidden fears. Breakthrough demands that these weaknesses be transformed into strengths. Resistance shows them to you so you can develop. Quitting prevents growth. Persistence activates transformation. The resistance you face is the training you need for the victory you desire. Resistance also tests your belief. You cannot rise higher than what you believe is possible for you. When resistance shows up, doubt often follows. You start questioning, am I capable? Am I worthy? Will this ever work? This is where many fail, not because the dream was impossible, but because they allowed doubt to overpower determination. The purpose of resistance is to help you confront these beliefs and replace them with stronger ones. Breakthrough requires belief that is stronger than your fear, stronger than your insecurities, and stronger than your past failures. Every time you push through resistance, your belief deepens. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to trust the process more. You begin to realize that challenges are not permanent. They are simply passages. Most importantly, resistance is the gateway to transformation. Breakthrough is not something that happens outside of you first. It happens inside you. The moment you decide that quitting is not an option, the moment you choose to keep going even when the road is difficult, something inside you shifts. You become more resilient, more intentional, more focused. And this internal transformation becomes the foundation of your external breakthrough. Breakthrough is not a moment, it is a process. It is the result of every decision you made when life tried to push you backward. Every great story of success includes a chapter of resistance. Every champion has faced moments where quitting looked easier than continuing. Every leader, every creator, every innovator has walked through seasons where nothing made sense. But they kept moving. They kept believing, they kept pushing, and eventually the resistance that once felt heavy became the very force that elevated them to new heights. Resistance is the pressure before the promise. It is the storm before the calm. It is the battle before the victory. When you face resistance, do not retreat. Lean into it. Push through it. Trust that your breakthrough is waiting on the other side of your endurance. And when you finally reach that moment when the barriers break, when the results appear, when the dream becomes real, you will look back and recognize that every ounce of resistance was part of the preparation that made you ready. Consistency is one of the most underestimated forces in the world. People admire talent, they get impressed by speed, and they celebrate breakthroughs. But they rarely understand the quiet, invisible power of showing up every single day, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Consistency beats talent, because talent may give you a head start, but consistency guarantees you finish the race. Talent may open a door, but consistency keeps the door open long enough for you to step through it. Talent is a gift, but consistency is a discipline, and discipline always outperforms gifts that are not developed. Most people fail not because they lack ability, because they lack consistency. They start with excitement, they start with passion, they start with loud declarations of what they will become, but their energy fades the moment the results don't appear quickly. They expect overnight transformation, instant progress, immediate confirmation, but real success is built on repetitive actions that seem small in the moment but become monumental over time. Consistency is not glamorous, it's not loud, it's not dramatic. It's the quiet commitment to keep going even when nothing around you seems to reflect the progress you desire. Consistency is the training ground of greatness. You don't grow when you do something once, you grow when you do it repeatedly. You don't get strong by lifting a weight one time. You get strong by lifting it over and over again until your muscles adapt. Every area of your life follows the same principle. Your mindset grows through consistent learning. Your skills grow through consistent practice. Your confidence grows through consistent action. The habits you repeat are the seeds of your future. You can't plant seeds one day and expect to harvest the next. Success requires watering, nurturing, and maintaining your effort, even when the soil looks dry and nothing seems to be happening. Consistency also eliminates excuses. When you commit to a routine, you take power away from your feelings. Feelings are unstable. They shift based on circumstances, environment, criticism, or even the weather. If you depend on feelings to determine your actions, your progress will always be unpredictable. But consistency rebuilds your identity. It says, this is who I am. This is what I do, regardless of mood or motivation. Once your identity becomes more powerful than your emotions, you become unstoppable. Consistency teaches you emotional discipline, one of the greatest advantages anyone can have. Another powerful truth is that consistency compounds. Just like money grows through compound interest, your actions grow through compound effort. At first, you see nothing. Then you see little. Then suddenly, everything you've been building explodes into visibility. People will call it overnight success, but you will know the truth. The results only appeared overnight because you were consistent for weeks, months, or even years. This compounding effect is what separates the average from the exceptional. Average people depend on inspiration. Exceptional people depend on consistency. Consistency also builds credibility, both with others and with yourself. When people see you show up again and again, they begin to trust your vision. They begin to take you seriously. They see your discipline, your reliability, your commitment. Opportunities come to consistent people because consistency makes them dependable. But even more importantly, consistency builds self-trust. When you keep your word to yourself repeatedly, you begin to believe in your own ability to follow through. You stop doubting your potential. You stop questioning your worth. You stop hesitating. You start living with confidence because you know your own discipline. The absence of consistency leads to cycles of starting and stopping, but never finishing. Many people restart the same dream every year because they never stay long enough to see progress. They destroy momentum every time they quit. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in achievement. It makes difficult things easier and slow things faster. But you can only build momentum through consistency. Without consistency, every effort resets, and every reset costs time, energy, and opportunity. Consistency also protects you from comparison. When you are committed to your own routine, your own growth, your own pace, you stop worrying about what others are doing. Comparison distracts people who lack direction, but consistent people are too focused on their own work to care about external noise. They don't need validation from others because their progress validates itself. They don't need applause because their discipline becomes their reward. Consistency keeps you centered, grounded, and aligned with your personal vision. Another truth is that consistency transforms impossible goals into achievable realities. When you break a big dream into small daily actions and commit to repeating them, the dream no longer feels overwhelming. The mountain becomes climbable. The vision becomes reachable. Consistency gives structure to your ambition. Without consistency, your dream stays emotional. With consistency, your dream becomes strategic. You must understand that consistency does not mean perfection. It means persistence. It means staying in motion even when the motion is slow. It means doing something instead of doing nothing. Many people quit because they think missing a day, falling behind, or making a mistake means they've failed. But consistency is not about never slipping. It's about never stopping. You don't break consistency by falling. You break it by refusing to rise again. Consistency requires patience. When you are consistent, you are choosing long-term impact over short-term gratification. You are choosing growth over comfort. You are choosing purpose over convenience. Patience and consistency go hand in hand. Without patience, you will abandon the process before you see the reward. But with patience, every day becomes a building block toward your destiny. The world respects consistent people because consistency proves seriousness. When you show up daily, you send a message to the universe, to the environment, and to yourself. Oh, I am committed. I am focused. I am willing to pay the price. Success is not drawn to desire. It is drawn to discipline. It is not given to the dreamer. It is given to the doer. And the doer is the one who shows up consistently. When you embrace consistency, you also embrace transformation. You begin to think differently. You begin to act differently. You begin to attract differently. Your standards rise. Your habits improve. Your mindset strengthens. Consistency is the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. Every consistent step takes you closer to that future version of yourself, the version that already carries the success you desire. So yes, talent can impress people. Talent can get attention. Talent can shine for a moment, but consistency wins the marathon. Consistency outlasts discouragement. Consistency overpowers fear. Consistency overcomes obstacles, and consistency guarantees that success becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Mindset is the foundation upon which every outcome of your life is built. Before success ever appears in your reality, it is constructed in your thoughts. Before failure ever shows up in your actions, it is rooted in your beliefs. What you think about yourself, what you think about your future, what you think about your potential, these thoughts shape your direction long before you take the first step. The truth is simple. You cannot outperform your mindset. You cannot rise higher than what you believe is possible for you. You cannot walk into a future you don't mentally accept as yours. Your mindset is the architect of your destiny. Your mindset determines how you interpret challenges. Two people can face the same obstacle. One sees a dead end and the other sees a doorway. The difference is not the obstacle. The difference is how their mind processes it. Your mindset is the lens through which you view your circumstances. If your lens is shaped by fear, you will see problems everywhere. If it is shaped by faith, you will see opportunity in places others overlook. This is why successful people seem to walk differently, talk differently, think differently. They carry a mindset that refuses to bow to circumstances. Their belief becomes a shield that protects them from the discouragement that stops so many others. Your mind has the power to either empower you or imprison you. It can push you forward or hold you back. Many people remain stuck not because they lack talent or resources, but because their mindset is programmed with limitations. They have internalized beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve success, people like me don't win, or big opportunities aren't for me. These beliefs sabotage their progress before they even begin. They sabotage their confidence, their decisions, their actions. But here's the empowering truth. Your mindset can be reprogrammed. You are not bound to the beliefs you inherited, the doubts you absorbed, or the fears you learned. You can renew your thinking. You can shift your mindset. And when your mind shifts, your entire life shifts with it. Your mindset determines the size of your dreams. If your thinking is small, your life will be small. If your thinking is bold, your life will expand to match it. The size of your belief creates the size of your possibilities. If you believe you can only achieve a little, you will only work enough to produce a little. But if you believe you are capable of greatness, you will stretch, push, grow, and act in alignment with that belief. Greatness is not reserved for a select few. It is reserved for those who believe strongly enough to pursue it relentlessly. Small thinking shrinks your ambition. Big thinking activates your potential. Your mindset controls the level at which you live. Your mindset determines your resilience. Life will test you. Challenges will come. Setbacks will appear. The question is, what narrative does your mind create when you face difficulty? A weak mindset says, maybe this is a sign to quit. A growth mindset says, maybe this is a sign to grow. A defeated mindset says, this is too hard. A persistent mindset says, this is hard, but not impossible. The strength of your mind dictates whether obstacles break you or build you. When your mindset is strong, obstacles become training. When your mindset is weak, obstacles become excuses. The difference is internal, not external. Mindset governs your discipline. You will never consistently do anything you don't mentally value. If you believe discipline is painful, you will avoid it. But if you believe discipline is the gateway to freedom, you will embrace it. If you believe consistency is boring, you will skip it. But if you believe consistency compounds into greatness, you will show up daily. Your habits flow from your beliefs. When your mindset shifts, your actions follow automatically. You no longer need to force discipline. Discipline becomes a reflection of your identity. You don't act disciplined. You become disciplined. Mindset shapes your environment. The thoughts you carry determine the people you attract, the conversations you entertain, the relationships you tolerate, and the opportunities you pursue. When your mindset is elevated, you refuse to settle for environments that shrink you. You stop giving energy to people who drain you. You stop accepting situations that contradict your vision. You start seeking people who challenge you, environments that grow you, and opportunities that align with your purpose. Your mindset becomes a filter that protects your future. Mindset also affects your decisions. Every decision you make is influenced by your beliefs about risk, capability, worthiness, and potential. A limited mindset chooses safety over progress. A growth mindset chooses development over comfort. A weak mindset avoids challenges because it fears failure. A strong mindset embraces challenges because it sees failure as feedback. Your decisions shape the direction of your life, and your mindset shapes those decisions. When your mindset grows, your decisions improve, and your life follows. Mindset creates momentum. Once your mind is convinced that your future is greater than your present, your actions begin to align with that vision. You move differently. You pursue opportunities that once intimidated you. You speak with confidence you didn't have before. You take risks you once avoided. You develop habits of excellence. You become intentional with your time. This shift creates momentum, and momentum is one of the most powerful forces in achievement. Momentum makes difficult things easier. Momentum accelerates progress, and all of it begins with a mindset shift. Your mindset is also responsible for how you interpret failure. Failure is not an end unless your mind decides it is. Many people treat failure as a verdict when it is actually a lesson. They treat rejection as a stop sign when it is often a redirection. They treat setbacks as evidence they're not capable when setbacks are usually evidence that growth is taking place. A powerful mindset uses failure as fuel. It extracts wisdom from every mistake. It turns losses into learning. It turns disappointment into drive. When your mindset sees failure correctly, nothing can stop you. Your mindset determines your identity. What you believe about yourself influences what you become. If you see yourself as limited, unworthy, or incapable, your actions will reflect that identity. But if you see yourself as capable, intelligent, disciplined, and destined for greatness, you will act in alignment with that identity. Identity is the root, behavior is the fruit. You cannot sustain behaviors that contradict your identity. When your mindset shifts your identity, your entire life begins to rise to match it. Your mindset ultimately determines your destiny. Your life is always moving in the direction of your strongest thoughts. You become what you continually think about. If your mind is full of doubt, fear, and limitations, your life will mirror those emotions. But if your mind is filled with belief, purpose, and possibility, your life will continually elevate. Your mindset sets the ceiling of your achievement. When you expand your mindset, you raise the ceiling. When you raise the ceiling, you raise your entire life. So when we say that your mindset determines your outcome, it is not motivational language. It is reality. The greatest battles you will ever fight are fought in the mind. The greatest victories you will ever win are won in the mind. And once your mind believes deeply enough, your life will eventually manifest what your mind has already accepted as true. Vision is the blueprint of your destiny. Nothing great is ever built without a blueprint, and nothing meaningful in your life will ever be created without a clear vision guiding your decisions, your actions, and your direction. Vision gives your life structure. Vision gives your effort meaning. Vision gives your journey purpose. Without vision, you drift. With vision, you advance. When you understand where you are going, your movement becomes intentional. When your direction is clear, your choices align. Vision is not just something you see. It is something you become committed to. It becomes the magnetic force pulling you forward, even when the journey is difficult. Vision is the picture of the future that fuels your present. It is the image you hold in your mind when your environment does not match your expectations. It is the internal reminder that keeps you anchored when everything around you tries to distract or discourage you. People without vision live by their circumstances. People with vision live by their calling. Without vision, you react to life. With vision, you create life. Vision gives you the ability to look beyond where you are and see where you could be. You stop making decisions based on convenience and start making decisions based on destiny. Vision is what separates movement from progress. Many people are busy but not productive. They work hard but not intentionally. They hustle but they have no direction. They run fast but they are running in circles. Vision ensures your effort has a destination. You're not just moving, you're advancing. You're not just working, you're building. You're not just hoping, you're creating. Vision brings order to your energy and purpose to your passion. Vision also creates discipline. When you truly see the future you desire, discipline becomes easier. It's not a burden anymore. It's a natural part of your identity. Vision gives you a reason to say no to distractions. It gives you a reason to protect your time, your focus, your habits, and your environment. When you have a clear vision, you stop negotiating with your goals. You stop allowing excuses to sabotage your progress. Vision makes discipline feel necessary instead of painful. It becomes the fuel that drives your daily commitment. Vision gives you resilience. When you can see your future clearly, you won't be shaken by temporary challenges. Problems look smaller when your vision is bigger. You stop magnifying obstacles and start magnifying the outcome. People break under pressure because they lose sight of their vision. When you forget where you're going, every challenge feels final, but when your vision is strong, you understand that obstacles are just part of the process. They are not dead ends. They are detours. They are not signs to quit. They are signs to grow. Vision keeps you emotionally steady because you know the current struggle is temporary, but the destination is permanent. Vision activates creativity and innovation. When you can see what you want, your mind begins to search for ways to achieve it. You start thinking differently. You start looking for solutions instead of excuses. You begin to develop new skills, new strategies, and new perspectives that align with your goal. Vision pulls hidden potential out of you. It forces you to grow into someone you were not before. It transforms your thinking, your habits, your conversations, and your relationships. Vision is the spark that ignites transformation. Vision influences your associations. When your vision is clear, you stop entertaining people who don't support it. You become selective with your circle. You choose to surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and elevate you. You stop wasting emotional energy on people who doubt you, criticize you, or distract you. Vision helps you separate those who help you build from those who help you break. Your future is too important to be influenced by the wrong relationships. Vision gives you the confidence to walk away from anything or anyone that does not align with your destiny. Vision demands sacrifice. You cannot build a powerful future without letting go of certain comforts, habits, and mindsets. Every vision has a price. The question is whether you are willing to pay it. The price may be time, patience, discipline, loneliness, discomfort, or delayed gratification. But when you truly believe in your vision, the sacrifice becomes worth it. Vision gives you the strength to endure what others avoid. It gives you the willingness to work when others sleep, to learn when others complain, to persist when others quit. Vision makes sacrifice feel meaningful rather than painful. Vision also attracts opportunity. When you know where you're going, you begin to notice doors others cannot see. Your clarity becomes a magnet. People are drawn to those who carry direction. Mentors, partners, investors, collaborators, they all gravitate toward people with a clear sense of purpose. Vision communicates seriousness. It communicates intention. It communicates leadership. People trust those who know where they're going. Vision does not just open doors, it creates doors. Vision gives your life meaning. When you have a vision, you wake up with intention. Your days are no longer random, they are purposeful. You stop wasting time because you understand the value of every hour, every action, every decision. You begin to measure your life not by how busy you are, but by how aligned you are. Vision gives you a reason to rise, a reason to grow, a reason to stretch, a reason to keep going. It becomes the emotional fuel that keeps your fire alive. Vision elevates your identity. When you start seeing yourself through the lens of your future, your behavior changes. You don't act like the person you used to be. You act like the person you are becoming. Vision upgrades your self-image. It replaces doubt with confidence, fear with conviction, and uncertainty with direction. Once your identity aligns with your vision, everything else follows. Your decisions improve, your habits strengthen, your confidence grows, your life rises. Vision also gives you legacy. Your vision determines the impact you leave behind. People who live without vision leave nothing. But people who live with vision build something bigger than themselves. Their work outlives them. Their influence continues long after they're gone. Vision transforms your life into something meaningful, something that echoes into the lives of others. Vision is the seed of greatness. It is the starting point of achievement. It is the compass that guides your journey. It is the fire that fuels your persistence. It is the blueprint that structures your effort. And once you lock onto a vision and commit to it with everything in you, success becomes not just possible, it becomes inevitable.